everybody, my name is Hummingbird, and in this video I tried out digital art, mostly for the first time ever. Technically, no. I had a tablet at one point, but it was one where it's like you connected it to your computer, so like the tablet was on your lap, but like the screen was like up somewhere else, and for some reason my brain cannot understand the whole like hand to pad to screen to eye coordination. It like, just for some reason it was just stupidly confusing. My brain couldn't understand the correlation and how I was technically drawing down here but the art was up there, and it just didn't work out, and I had zero patience on trying to learn it, so I just didn't use it after that. However, saved up my hard-earned cash from my essential worker's job. So now I have Procreate and an iPad. So we're going to try this out here. It definitely works a lot better because like I could trick my brain into being like, oh, look, it's me drawing on paper, even though it's a screen, but because it's happening under my hand as I'm doing it, my brain is like, yes, that is correct. Nice. I've only ever really done traditional art since I was a child, and now being like 20 years old, my brain is like, this is the only thing we know. Do not change. And I'm like trying to secretly force my brain to change and be like, nah, let's do it, dude. So that's what we're doing today in this video. If you also see like random stuff going on that don't pertain to the like art piece, it's because I don't know how to fucking use Procreate like at all. And I also refuse to watch any videos on it because I'm that person that will go to the store, buy something, and throw away the instructions. And then be like, we'll figure it out. Like, whatever, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Bad habit. But I, like, really can't help it. So if you see random streaks going all over the place, it's mainly me just testing out, like, the different brushes and the colors and the opacities and the blah, 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 like, all that fun stuff, whatever. So basically what I'm doing. So to get into the piece, I do like to categorize my pieces that are similar to this as my psychedelic art, my acid art, my trippy art. Whatever those three usually is what I categorize them as. Not just because of the style, but also because of the mental state I'm usually in when these occur, or having these come through as a previous state I've been in. If I've said that in the best way possible without saying too much to incriminate myself. It is a great way to get bursts of creativity, but if you're like me and you have real bad mental health and real bad anxiety disorder, these type of things that I did to my brain in order to get these pieces was not the greatest choice. I won't be making those choices ever again. However, it definitely left like a permanent like footprint in my brain. I've unlocked this weird part of my brain that allows me to make this type of art now. I guess the best way I could describe it is when I was younger, I really wanted to have like this loose like Salvador Dali type style, but I was always such a perfectionist and really hard on myself that if everything didn't look perfect and the way that I wanted it, and if it didn't look what other people thought was pretty, I would get stressed out and then stop making my art piece because then I thought it was bad. But with something like this is a very new style for me. Just taking a bunch of ideas and just vomiting them onto a page and having it make no sense, almost really on purpose. So I'm not like purposely trying to make it look perfect. I'm not trying to make it look pretty. You know, you're supposed to look at it and be like, I don't know, I'm a little uncomfortable looking at it. And I'm like, yes, that's it. That's what I wanted. Thank you. That's kind of where I finally was able to push myself into going, so I'm not always so hard on myself when it comes to an art piece, where it's going back to being more fun than being a chore, which is what it started to feel like. So in a way, I'm happy for those experiences that led me to this. But I'm also kind of upset about it because it kind of made my mental health a little bit worse. But we're just gonna dilly-dally over that. We're not even gonna think about it that much. It's fine. I really liked using Procreate. I really liked the different like brushes and the different tools. It was just really cool, especially because like digital art is so new to me. And it just also was a really healthy way of me like working through a lot of stuff in my head, like in a healthy way, you know, like drawing and writing, meditating, bullet journaling, stuff like that. That's like a really healthy way to like cope, other than like actually speaking to like a therapist and like taking time for yourself, like kind of like those like self love things when you see like those women in a bath with like 30 candles and like fucking rose petals. It's like that, but this is my equivalent of just kind of not being hard on myself and taking whatever issue it is today. Like I'll tackle one thing, like one part of my trauma, and then I'll make that into an art piece, put that through, and for some reason that helps alleviate some of the hurt with it. It sounds weird, but the human brain is also very weird. It gets triggered in weird ways. Not necessarily weird, but it's always like strange and interesting, and it's always different from somebody else. You know, like everybody handles everything different. Some people will get hurt by something that somebody else won't. People internalize things different. Things will come back in forms of PTSD different. Like for me, I get horrific nightmares. I get night terrors. It's very strange. Because everything's really been suppressed up until this year. So like, 2020 a movie. What the fuck, everyone? But yeah, that's, you know, art is basically just like a channel. I think for a lot of people, for the most part, it's a lot to, it's speaking without speaking with words. You could just kind of look at it and be like, oh, wow. Like, they're going through it. But then you could also find yourself in that piece, too. Like, a lot of other artists that I watch, you know, like, I'll watch them do their pieces, and even if it's challenges, and it's, like, certain things, especially when it's, like, a personal piece, I always find little bits of myself, and I think it's really good for other people to be able to, like, read into it and make it their own while also stepping back and being able to respect and appreciate that it is also somebody else's own, if that makes sense. Feel like that got a little rambly because I just really started thinking about mental health and art. But I feel like that's the way for like singing too, like people putting that into sound and lyrics. Very similar with painting or photography. I love the arts. It's so good for you. It's just so healthy for you. You know, like obviously not everybody is an artistic person themselves, like in this type of medium. They find it in other ways, I think. But I feel like videos like these are also really helpful. Just like hear it from other people. Like I like listening to, oh, what's her name? Emily Artful. I think her name is. Like, oh my God, I loved watching her, like, oh, was it like the art to heart or art to art videos, where like she would just like paint or do watercolors and talk about like a life experience and just stuff like that. That's what I love about art. So that's just really the main theme of this piece in this video, just mainly talking about mental health and how every individual piece, whether it's traditional or digital, has a piece of the artist within it, and you could also find a piece of yourself in it. And that comes to a close with the ending picture. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay well and stay safe.